permitting, there will be baseball at Wrigley Field tonight. More than 37,000 fans will squeeze into the 74-year-old ballpark to witness and take part in a piece of history. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dan Roan, welcoming you to Wrigley Field for tonight's baseball game. The weather report so far, very good. It's hot down on the field, but no rain in sight, and hopefully we won't have any rain here until about midnight. Well, we at WGN are very happy to be able to bring you this historic moment, as we've brought you so many moments from Wrigley Field over the past 40 years. The man who'll be turning the light switch on tonight here in the ballpark is a man who's seen a lot of history pass before his eyes. 91-year-old Harry Grossman. We thought you'd like to meet him.
61 years of marriage. She still talks to me.
Florence Grossman talks to her husband all right, but only when he's not at the ballpark. These ticket stubs represent some of the 5,000 games Harry Grossman has seen over 83 years as a Cub fan. From Tinker to Evers to Chance to Hartnett, Banks, and Sandberg, he's been there. But tonight is Harry's big night.
Naturally, any person out of maybe 50,000 Cub fans, die-hard Cub fans, they would pick me out to turn on the lights. It makes me very proud and privileged person to do so. So I feel pretty good. Anybody would. If I say no, I wouldn't be truthful to myself. Day or night, that doesn't make a matter. Win or lose, I'm a Cub fan 24 hours a day.
Harry's some character. I had a chance to go over to his home last week and talk to him there. He can remember baseball incidents that you can only read about in history books, remember them with a very clear mind at 91 years old. He's a very unique person, almost as unique as the ballpark itself. Harry will be turning on that switch in just a few minutes. Actually, it's a symbolic switch that he'll be turning on. An engineer will be underneath the bleachers doing the actual job down there, and then it'll take about 20 minutes or so for the lights to come on. WGN's Jack Brickhouse is the on-field master of ceremonies tonight. Jack is standing by near the Philadelphia Phillies on-deck circle. Jack is over there about to introduce Harry Grossman. You see Jack looking very cool. Jack not dressed up in a tuxedo like some of us are tonight. Steve Stone, Dwayne Statz, our assistant down here, Joe Corneo, and others. Wayne Messmer looking very sharp. He'll sing the national anthem tonight. Cubs are getting warmed up here and about to take infield practice. Again, the weather is very, very hot down here. In fact, it's just about as uncomfortable on the field as it has been for any day game all year long. Humidity levels very, very high, and the temperature is certainly up in the 90s at this point, but expected to cool down. The wind at this point shouldn't be a factor in the baseball game. Here's our shot from the blimp tonight, a shot that should be absolutely beautiful before the night is over. Get a chance to see some of the traffic patterns around Wrigley Field. Traffic pretty well snarled up at this point. But all in all, it's a beautiful night for baseball, even if it is a little hot and humid. And we expect to have a great time here in the pregame show and then when the game starts at about 7 o'clock tonight. In just a moment, we'll be going over to Jack Brickhouse to turn that light switch on with Harry Grossman. In the meantime, we might tell you a little bit about what these lights are all about. 540 spotlights. General Electric is the contractor for the light stands here at Wrigley. They would put out just about 810,000 watts of electric power tonight as they light up this baseball field for the first time. There's a good shot at one of those standards. The Cubs are taking the field right now for infield practice. We'll talk to some of them later on as the evening progresses. Also, Don Granesco is in our lineup. We'll take a look at what Wrigley Field has meant to Cub fans throughout history. A big night here, and of course, Harry and Steve are the leadoff man, an expanded edition of that coming up at about 6:30 or so. And a beautiful shot from way up. The Goodyear blimp. Crowd is coming in fairly early tonight. The stands are filling up, especially down here low. And we'll expect a full house of somewhere in the neighborhood of 37,000 plus. There's a look outside. This is down Waveland Avenue, and you can see the people lined up out there. There may be a 5-figure number of crowd outside the ballpark tonight as well. People just want to get close to Wrigley Field to be a part of this historic moment. And now let's go to Jack Brickhouse and Harry Grossman for the lighting ceremony.
Welcome to Wrigley Field for tonight's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and your Chicago Cubs. I'm Jack Brickhouse, And I'll be your master of ceremonies for this historic first game at night ever to be played at Wrigley Field. Now at this time, we direct your attention to the on-deck circle next to the Philadelphia Phillies dugout as the Wrigley Field lights will be officially turned on. Now, to perform the honors, the Cubs are proud to have a true die-hard Cubs fan. At the age of 91, he perhaps is the oldest Cubs season ticket holder. In fact, he has been in attendance at just about every Cubs home game for the last 25 years. His first Cub game he saw in 1906 at the age of 8 when the Cubs and the White Sox played in the World Series. Ladies and gentlemen, here tonight, age 91, to officially turn on the lights at Wrigley Field is Cubs fan Harry Grossman. Harry, welcome. Harry, I know you have something you want to say.
Can I have your attention for just one moment? I'm very proud and privileged and very happy to be chosen the one who's going to turn on the lights. I'll be more happier if all the fans will join me like a Harry Carey, 1, 2, 3, and then say, "Let there be lights," and put your finger. All you fans deserve it, and you certainly earned it. Huh? Be ready, fans. 1, a 2, a 3. Let there be.
Harry Grossman with an outstanding job. Jimmy Pierce throwing baseballs at me from the dugout here. Well, the lighting sequence has begun. Frankly, I'm a little bit melancholy about this, and I'm sure a lot of other people are. After all, with lights, Wrigley Field loses part of what makes it so unique. But then there's so much more tradition left for all of us to enjoy. When this park went up in 1914 at a cost of $250,000, it would have been hard to imagine the legendary status it would gain through the years. It was Wigman Park back then, named after the owner of the Chicago Whales of the Federal League. But the Cubs moved in for the 1916 season. The ballpark became Cubs Park in 1920, and finally Wrigley Field in 1926. The Cubs played 2 World Series here prior to 1930, but it was in that decade that Wrigley Field began to build its storybook reputation. A key player, the immortal Babe Ruth, who in the 32 series allegedly pointed to the bleachers and then delivered.
I'll never forget it. It was a tough series. Both clubs riding each other. Well, I was this one particular time when I went to bat. Charlie Root was pitching. Well, I looked down at center field and I pointed. I said, I'm going to hit the next pitch ball right past the flagpole. Well, the good Lord must have been with me.
True or not, that's entwined in the Wrigley folklore, as is the 100% legitimate Homer in the Gloaming by Gabby Hartnett in 1938. Lights were almost a part of Wrigley Field history in the early 40s, but P.K. Wrigley donated the material to the war effort. Cub fans had to settle for another World Series instead in 1945. The Cubs lost to Detroit, and there hasn't been another series since. But there have been great moments. This ballpark has seen 6 no-hitters, the most dramatic, Don Cardwell's Cub debut in 1960.
Watch it. There's a drive on the line to left field. Come on, Moose. He did it. He did it. It's a no-hitter! A no-hitter! And what a catch that Moran made! Oh, brother, what a catch he made!
Winning seasons were scarce. The 69 group turned on Chicago for most of one summer. More about them later on. But Cub fans thrilled to Ernie Banks' 500th homer in 1970. Billy Williams set the National League's consecutive game streak that same year. Finally, in 1984, the Cubs landed, improbably, back in the winner's circle, champions of the Eastern Division. And Wrigley Field was the site of postseason play for the first time in 39 years. The fun ended in the playoffs, won by San Diego, which moved on to the World Series. And, of course, the most distinguishing feature of this ballpark, the ivy, which was strung up on the walls in 1938 by none other than the late Bill Vett. You'd have to wonder right now about how he'd feel about night baseball at Wrigley Field. We'll step aside for a moment now, and when we come back, the light spike, how it started and how it finished, when Lights On continues in just a moment. Welcome back to Wrigley Field, where the lights are starting to take effect. The switch has been thrown for a little over 7 minutes now, but this lighting process has been going on for over 7 years. WGN News reporter Jim Williams is standing by outside the park at Waveland and Sheffield with that part of the story. Jimmy?
Thank you, Dan. You know, this historic moment follows a fight between one of the city's most powerful corporations and one of the city's most politically active. A emotional fight staged at City Hall, Springfield, and in the courts. The fight developed shortly after Tribune Company purchased the Cubs from the Wrigley family. Cub officials initially downplayed reports that the team was considering lights at Wrigley Field, but General Manager Dallas Green later said night baseball at Clark and Addison was an eventuality, that the Cubs would have to consider lights if the team were to be competitive.
Something we have to look at now, and maybe with a little bit more oomph than we've been doing before.
That angered the anti-lights forces, and they went to work, staging protests designed to cast the Cubs as villains willing to destroy the community.
They do not care if our streets and our alleys are blocked with cars, keeping ambulances from sick residents, or keeping fire engines from burning homes. They do not care if our children are kept awake at night by the crowds and the traffic.
The Illinois General Assembly responded in June of 1982 by passing anti-noise legislation aimed at banning night games at Wrigley Field. The team was dealt a further blow the following year when the Chicago City Council passed a zoning ordinance that effectively blocked night games. The writing was on the ivy-covered walls. No night baseball was to be played at Wrigley Field. It appeared the anti-lights forces had won. The Cubs didn't give up, though. They took their fight to court. But they lost there as well. The Illinois Supreme Court upheld both laws as constitutional. Anti-lights forces were ecstatic.
The community won, the Tribune lost. Enough said, the fight is over.
But they were wrong. In November of 1987, with the Cubs threatening to leave the city for the suburbs, the late Mayor Harold Washington proposed a plan to allow the Cubs to play 18 games a year under the lights.
I think all parties have had sufficient dialogue. It's gone on interminably. The process has been open. It's been exhaustive. It's been complete. It's been fair. The decision has been arrived at. Yes.
3 months after Washington's death, acting Mayor Eugene Sawyer picked up the ball, and the plan was approved by the City Council, clearing the way for 7 regular season night games this year and 18 a season in subsequent years. Forces are threatening to file suit against the Tribune. In the meantime, they say they'll be out in this community to make sure that order is maintained and that the city keeps its various promises in terms of police protection and making sure that illegally parked cars are towed. Dan, back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Now joining us is Don Granesco, Cubs Executive Vice President. Don, how do you feel so far? How are things going outside the ballpark?
Everything is going great up to this point, Dan. Harry Grossman just turned the lights on, and he's quite the showman. And it was an electricity that went through the crowd, and I know when I first saw those lights go on, there was a tingle that I got from it also. It's been a fabulous evening. I haven't seen anything quite like this. I wasn't out here when the Cubs won the division in '84, but the attention we're getting has just been incredible.
You must feel a little bit like an expectant father tonight.
Well, yeah, to a certain extent. You never know if, in fact, these things are going to come to be. We worked on this situation for about 5 or 6 years, and I personally was working on it for about 3.5, and there were certainly low periods and some high periods in there when we thought that, you know, we might not see this day, but we persevered, and I think we've reached a compromise that is good for everybody involved.
A lot of people don't know how these front office guys operate. I know that Don Bernesco was out shagging flies when the lights were turned on. What was it, about a week ago or so, Don?
Yeah, about a week ago, after the Cubs care event, some of the outfielders had complained that they couldn't pick up the ball quite well enough in the outfield. So we re-aimed a number of the lights in the outfield, added a few more fixtures, and then Jim Fry and I and some others from the front office staff went out and shagged fly balls. Had a great time. And I think there's been a significant improvement in the lights, and if I can catch a fly ball, just think what these athletes can do.
All right, we hope the rest of this night goes as well as that night did for you.
So do we. I understand the weather is supposed to hold off, and of course we all know that it doesn't rain at Wrigley Field.
Okay, Don, have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, what lights really mean at this ballpark is that baseball will continue here, where it's been played for 74 years. There have been some good teams, some bad teams, some not so good, not so bad teams go through here, but there's one group that's unforgettable to Cub fans, and that's a group that wouldn't have minded playing some games under these lights either.
Hit deep to right, back, high! It's all over! Willie Smith just homered! The Cubs win the game!
More intoxicating than a dozen cold beers in the bleachers, the '69 Cubs got under Chicago's skin by opening a huge lead in the Eastern Division. Banks, Williams, Holtzman, Santo, solid at every position and headed for the first ever National League playoffs. Unfortunately, you know the rest. They fell apart in late season. A critical series in New York, at night, of course, put the Mets over the top, and they won the Eastern Division by 8 games over the Cubs.
Oh, one more. God. Your ball game that. Can you wash on that for a year?
If you can believe it, that was 19 years ago, and the class of '69 has been able to overcome that disaster. To a man, they'll tell you there's still nothing like walking into Wrigley Field.
Oh, anybody that says any different, they don't know what they're talking about. I'd love to come back up here. Last year was my first time back in 14 years, and just when I walked out here, I wanted to cry.
In fact, players who got together last week for Randy Hundley's fantasy camp said one of the few regrets they had was not being able to play here under the new lights. Might have kept them fresh at the finish in '69.
The factor to me is that, like today, it's 98 degrees or whatever, and when you play a 2-week homestand in this type heat, I just think it takes a whole lot more out of you than those guys that are playing at night.
When you play day games, regardless of whether you're tired or not, or you have enough, you have a certain time that you have to be there, and there's no way of getting extra rest if you need it. And I think from that standpoint, the lights are going to help an awful lot.
Well, we had more or less 8 regulars that were playing every day, day in and day out. Maybe the heat did get to us a little bit. I don't think as much, though, as another relief pitcher could have helped us.
An honest man. Glenn Beckert and a lot of those '69 players will be in the stands for this game here tonight. Well, the weather has begun to look a little bit foreboding. We'll update the forecast as we continue on Lights On in just a moment. Well, if you don't have a ticket for tonight's game, you can consider yourself fortunate for a couple of different reasons. One, you're not going to get wet. It looks like it's going to rain. And two, you'll have the benefit of Channel 9's coverage tonight. 11 cameras will document what happens at Wrigley Field in this game. And one of those is down at Harry Carey's restaurant, where our Bob Jordan is standing by. Robert.
That's right, Dan. It's not going to rain in here, and everybody at Harry Carey's is having a ball. About 250 people have paid $19.88, all of which will go to Cubs Care, the charity, and they're here feasting on antipasta and, let's see, looks like lasagna, chicken Vesuvio, and this is the chow line here at Harry's. Let's walk over here and talk to a couple of people. Are we having fun yet?
So far, so good.
Are you disappointed that you weren't able to make it to the game?
Sometimes, but I think we'll have a nice time tonight.
Okay. That's kind of the way it's been here so far. The crowd is still a little bit subdued. They expect to get wound up once the game gets underway. And then at 7 o'clock, Harry's will be open to the public, and they expect to pack it to the rafters. I'm the only one here, by the way, Dan, wearing a tuxedo. And a few moments ago, a guy walked up to me and said, hey, buddy, could you get me a drink? So I'm in trouble. I might start serving drinks for Harry later this evening. That's the way it's going, and we hope to keep you updated on the situation here.
All right, Bob, I've heard that same line 30 times so far tonight. Anyway, the man who's going to tie it all together for us here tonight is the same guy who gets it done game in and game out for WGN and the Cubs. That will be our award-winning producer-director, Arnie Harris, and for him, this isn't just another game either.
Schmidt waiting.
One. Double play. Get it, Joe. 3. All right. Give me pitcher, Donnie. Stay there, Bruce. 4. We'll squeeze 4. Stay with him, Bruce. Punch 4 to the net. Stay there, Brucey. Squeeze 4.
If Arnie Harris sounds slightly subdued in the TV truck, consider that he's seen just about everything in 22 years of calling the shots at Cub games for Channel 9. But he's never seen a night game at Wrigley Field.
I'm ready, Danny. I wish it was over. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun, but the phone hasn't stopped ringing. But I am. I'm looking forward to it. I was out here the first night, Monday night, when they put the lights on, and I was impressed. I thought the lighting was great. The corners were a little dark, but they're even dark here in the daylight. It should be a great event.
Last time the Cubs and WGN married up for an event of this scope, the Cubs were clinching a division title in '84. From the director's chair, tonight is even bigger.
Where does this game fit in as far as you're concerned and what you've done at Wrigley Field for Channel 9?
Well, I think right to the top. You know, the '84 pennant clincher was pretty good. But rating-wise, this, I'm sure, will parallel that. And I think because it's 4 years later with more people maybe watching, more sets available, more people watching on cable, I would say it'll probably be the most watched show that I've ever done, and I'm looking forward to that.
Big night for Arnie Harris tonight, and a big night for all of us at WGN, and we're so happy that you've been able to join us for it. The weather so far, it's still holding off. A little dark back to the west, but right now, it's not raining, and we hope it won't. We'll leave you right now with a little bit of music from Steve Goodman, a man who was a great Cub fan in his life, and I know he would have enjoyed being at this game tonight. So for now, stay tuned. I'm Dan Roan at Wrigley Field. We'll see you later.
Lights On was brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chrysler Plymouth dealer, and by Nissan Cars and Trucks, built for the most important race of all, the human race.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. It's root for the home team. And if they don't win, what else is new? And it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. At the old ball game, play it, Jethro.
Leadoff Man is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Go with the driving force. And Amoco Ultimate Lead-Free Premium. Amoco, your car knows.
Steve Stone up in the booth in lighted and very hot Wrigley Field. In 1935, the Cubs played the 3rd night game ever played, and they won that one against the Cincinnati Reds at Old Crosley Field. And it took them 3 years, till 1938, till a man by the name of Joe Marty hit the first home run in a Chicago Cubs uniform. The Cubs won that one also. 50 years ago, the first home run by a Chicago Cub at night. Who's going to be the man tonight? Andre Dawson? Pretty good guess. Maybe Rafael Palmeiro or Mark Grace. What a night for Mark Grace to hit his first home run in Wrigley Field, under the lights. So far, the rain is holding off. Hopefully that'll be for some time because it looks ominous to the west. It's an exciting night here. The stands packed with people. Standing room only, and they're standing everywhere. In fact, Harry is standing right over there. He's waiting to go on, and he's got a lot of interesting things for you today. And we have an interesting show for you. We have a lot of reactions around the league. Players, managers, coaches, just exactly what it's going to be like in Wrigley Field tonight. A lot of guys who played here, a lot of guys who managed here, a lot of guys who coached here, some guys who never put on a Cub uniform, but many former Cubs will tell you just exactly what it's going to feel like to be down on the field for the first night game. 8-8-88. Something to remember, and stay with us. We'll be back, and we'll hear from the players after these messages. Comments are varied, but with the same recurrent theme. What a great night it's going to be tonight in Wrigley Field. And the first man to kick it off, former Cub outfielder Keith Moreland.
Well, I think the first thing, in 1982 when I came here, we all talked about the fact that we didn't think anybody could be competitive playing day baseball all the time. So my personal feelings is I think over the future and the long haul, night baseball is only going to help the organization and the Cub ball club be better prepared to come out and stay with the schedule of 162 games and be able to compete on a better basis.
It's definitely going to be different. We know that. I think that it was something that was going to come and going to happen because of the playoffs and the World Series as the Cubs, started to perform better after when I left and the other people. But it was something that had to be done. As far as the fan reaction, I don't know. You know, this ballpark's got tremendous charisma, Steve. And like today, we got a full house in here. And when the Cubs are playing well, the people are going to come out. But it's going to give a chance probably for those people at home in the evening to watch the Cubs. It's going to be an exciting thing. I know my friend Yosh Kawano, the equipment manager, I don't think he likes it. And after all, they probably had to check with him first before they did this. But all in all, I wish that I was in the area and I was off that day because I would definitely come on August the 8th. It's going to be an exciting day. It's going to be history. And another thing, if I may add this, from the ball player standpoint, I think some of these day games it's over extremely warm. When you play in the evening, I think that player or players are going to catch a break. They'll feel stronger. It's going to be an interesting thing. And I know it'll be a sellout the 8th, and I just, the only bad thing about it is the restaurants are going to take a beat, and Tommy Lasorda is not going to like that. But anyway, I think it was a nice thing to happen, and, I hope I'm still around to experience a night game in Wrigley Field, because like you said, I've done it all the other ways, and I'd like to come in here and just one game and see what it's like, and I hope I'm still around to do that.
Well, the thing about it is when you come to Wrigley Field, to me, it's tradition. It's a ballpark that everybody loves, not only the home team, but the visiting team. And then to see that they're going to put lights here and play night baseball, it's a little tough to understand that, because this is the one thing, the one park that we could really hold on to and say baseball is supposed to be a game played in the daytime, and this is the only thing that we had to remember. Now it's gone. But, hey, it was inevitable. It had to happen. Probably the best thing. But I still like to come to Wrigley Field, see a day game, and play in this beautiful ballpark.
I think it's going to be mixed. I think it's going to be nice to be able to play some games in the evening instead of during the heat of the day. You know how hot it can get in this ballpark during the day in the summer months. But it's also going to be different. It's real easy to get into a routine when you're at home, playing every game at the same time. Now they're going to have a night game. They're going to have to get up early to play a day game the next day, and it's adjustment that you have to make continually during the year when you mix in night games and day games. And I think overall it'll probably be beneficial for the players.
Well, it's going to be real exciting. The people of Chicago have waited a long time for this, and finally the day is here. And so, it's exciting for them, and it's going to be exciting for us. So there's an all-star game type, playoff type atmosphere here, and the players are real excited about it.
Well, Ralph Kiner, even though I know the answer to this, what is your feeling about night baseball at Wrigley Field?
I think it stinks. The last bastion of what baseball should be. Daylight and grass, and it's going down the drain when they put lights in there. But you know, Tim, the most significant change I think that the Cubs have made goes back to 1953. In 1953, they took the fans out of that center field area, and they put that backdrop in where you can see the ball. Before that, it was a real pitcher's ballpark. After that, it became a hitter's ballpark. And I think that's a more important change as far as the players are concerned than the lights. And I wonder what the night baseball will do to the winds of Wrigley Field. I know you like it at night.
Well, I'll guarantee you, I prefer night baseball. I think as far as the Cubs are concerned, the Cubs are going to be much better off late in the season, even though they're going to play, what, a maximum of 18 games in the night. But I think night baseball revives you. I think you're more rested for night baseball, and that goes for the players and the broadcasters. I always enjoyed night baseball, and to be honest with you, I saw the ball better at night, and I think that one of the reasons was because I was more rested.
Well, one thing for sure, Tim, the restaurants in Chicago are going to lose an awful lot of business.
Well, I'll tell you, that's Ralph Kiner, and me, I'm Tim McCarver. That's our view on night baseball at Wrigley Field. Now let's see what Lee Elia, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, has to say about night baseball.
Well, I know from being a Cub as a player and having the pleasure of managing that ball club that again, the Chicago fans and the Chicago organization is going to put together another great event in their history, and that'll be the night game on August the 8th. And I'm, as an individual, extremely flattered to have the opportunity to be on the other side of the field on that night. There's been so much greatness, if that's the right word, so much history that has prevailed in the Chicago area with the Chicago Cubs for many, many years. This is just another plus in this regard to what's going to be a great event. It's a historical day. There's no question about it. I think when you weigh the fact that there's probably some people that are not happy with night baseball, and then there's so many more that probably would like to have it, regardless of whatever feelings might transpire between those people, this is still history in the making, and myself and the organization are flattered that we have the opportunity to be a part of it next Monday night.
It certainly is history in the making, and it's only fitting that the Philadelphia Phillies, who provided the opposition in the first night game, provide the opposition tonight, the first night game ever in Wrigley Field. Stay with us, because after these messages, we'll be back with more of the pregame festivities. And now Wayne Messmer with America the Beautiful. Of America the Beautiful by the voice of the Cubs, Wayne Messmer. And now another thrilling part of the program, and that's the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and they're going to play the Star-Spangled Banner. What a night in Chicago, a night where Rick Sutcliffe goes against Kevin Gross, a night when the lights came on for the first time. And now, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra with our national anthem. We'll be back with a look at the final pregame ceremonies after these messages. You've seen it all on WGN TV, and now it's Sutcliffe against Gross. Harry Carey coming back. Stay tuned for baseball.
Leadoff Man was brought to you in part by Amoco Ultimate Lead-Free Premium. Amoco, your car knows. And your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Go with a driving force.
Night and day, you are the one. Only you neath the moon or under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it's no matter, darling, where you are. I think of you day and night, night and day. Why is it so that this
Night and day, and it finally arrived. This is the night. There is nighttime baseball at Wrigley Field. Stay with us for all the excitement. We're going to talk to Bill Murray, the great star, following this message.
I think of you day and night, night and...
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey at Wrigley Field on this noteworthy night indeed. 8/8/88. That's the date. And this bud's for you, Bill Murray.
Thank you, Larry. I've been dying under these lights until you handed me this thing.
It's such a pleasure to see you, especially on a noteworthy event like this one.
Well, I don't know how I feel about night baseball. It's great in the minor leagues, but it's someplace else to go in town besides your restaurant, which is a good thing.
You know, how's your mother, by the way?
My mother is, she's off the blues, pretty, but she's doing really well. She's doing great.
That bit you put on when I was sick and you were on and did such a great job. The bit you done about your mother, among other things, I think it should be a special cassette. You ought to sell about 10 million of them.
Well, I've got 200,000 of my own, which I'm willing to unload for some sort of a price. But my mother really wants too big a percentage, so I'm keeping them in the garage right now at home.
Have you thought about broadcasting baseball as something after you're tired of being a great star of movies, stage, television, screen, whatever you have?
I think when I completely lose my mind here, I'm going to step right up into your spot here in the booth.
There's no doubt about you being a true Cub fan, is there?
Well, I went with the blue and white tonight, figuring I could look like the ground crew in case I got thrown out, I could get back in. It's really beautiful. It's the most beautiful park in the world, and it's pretty under the lights, too. That's what I was hoping.
Tell me, Bill, where are you making your own now, in Hollywood or in New York?
Well, I make it in New York.
What's happening in your career? Anything new?
Well, I made a movie called Scrooge that's going to come out. Scrooge.
I'll bet you got to be Scrooge.
Yes, that's right.
And I would imagine that's hilariously funny.
You have a vivid imagination, Harry. You really do. It better be funny. There's going to be big trouble for me. Yeah.
Bill, good to see you. Stick around for a little while. I know it's warm up here. Bill Murray, a priceless guy. Don't go away now, because we're going to be back with the first night baseball game ever played at Wrigley Field. Coming up in a moment.
All right, you guys, things in the bleachers aren't different than they are during day. Back this morning to get in here, right?
Oh, you know, good seat.
No sure.
Yeah, that's what we have right there.
You have one on each side?
No. Only the one.
Well, we're here live at Harry Carey's. Dan Roon was having some audio problems. Harry, I hope you can hear the crowd here at your establishment. Well, that's a special message for you, Harry, here from the gang here at your location, where they're autographing and auctioning off Andre Dawson T-shirts and Billy Williams bats and the whole works. Back to you, Harry.
All right, Bob Jordan. Thank you. Hello again, everybody, with Steve Stone, Harry Carey. Bill Murray is with us, too. Here are the lineups, first of all, for tonight's game. For the Phillies, as you look at Rick Sutcliffe, Bradley in left, Thompson at center, Sam Well at second, Schmidt at third, Parrish the catcher, James in right, Jordan at first, Jeltz at short, Gross the pitcher. And for the Chicago Cubs, Webster in center, Sandberg at second, Grace at first, Dawson in right, Palmero in left, Law at third. The first pitch of the ball game. Look at the lights flickering all over Wrigley Field. Berryhill catching, Dunston and Dunson short, Sutcliffe pitching. And here we go. This game is underway with Phil Bradley with a count of ball one. Sutcliffe's fifth. He fouls it out of play. Hey, are those flickering lights going to go on all the time? I imagine some of the hitters might complain about it.
Well, as long as Philadelphia can complain, I'm going to win now.
All right, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Phillies lead in the series, Bill. 2 games to 1.
I saw it yesterday.
The pitch. A little bit high. Where do all those lights flicker from, Arnie? All over the ballpark.
Those are people with flash cameras, Harry, trying to get a piece of history here at Wrigley Field tonight.
2 balls and a strike. There's the drive. Way back. It's gone. It's out of here. Phil Bradley. It's a home run. The first man up. His 6th home run of the year. And he'll remember the first night game ever played at Wrigley Field, especially after that home run.
Turn them off! Turn the dang lights off!
Well, wait, we haven't batted yet. Maybe the wind's blowing out.
The wind is blowing 9 miles an hour out to left center. The 6th home run of the year for Bradley, RBI number 34. Watch it again.
Here's Thompson, a ground ball. Nice play by Law. Throws him out. There's a home out onto Waveland Avenue. Boy, look at those rooftops. Are they heavily populated tonight?
Well, Harry, they said it would cool off at night, and they were right. It's cooled off to 91 degrees at game time.
It's a delightful evening. Why are you so wringing wet, Steve?
Because of the delightful evening, Harry. I'm not quite as wet as Eric Gregg is going to be behind the plate before this one's over.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a tuxedo on. There's a pitch, swung and miss.
Well, let's not deny Eric Gregg is looking good. He is looking very good.
He's lost about 40 pounds.
Eric, you look fantastic!
1 strike and nothing.
You'd think he'd change his wardrobe with the new look, but he's still in the same gray pants and blue shirt.
Well, Juan Samuel takes a pitch high. 1-0 Phillies. Boy, if the lights were turned on before your TV set was turned on, you might have missed the first home run of the game. Foul back out of play. 1-2 on Samuel. 3 out of 13 in the series.
This is Rick Sutcliffe's 22nd start of the year, his 4th against the Phillies. He's 2-1 this year against Philadelphia, 7-6 lifetime. Last time out against New York, he threw a fine ball game going the distance, giving up 7 hits and 1 earned run. He almost didn't start this game. He's had some back problems, and Mike Bilecki was ready to take over if Rick Sutcliffe couldn't go. Instead, Bilecki will go tomorrow night.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Low outside, ball 2. You'll hear those lottery numbers again following the ball game. And we'll flash them to you a number of times. I hope you won. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You think a lot of people bought 888 today?
I would imagine a few. A bouncing ball foul. One thing about it, though, I guess Arnie looked all over for a horse with the number 88, but I don't believe there are any horses like that around. There's Don Zimmer. 1 out, 1 in. Wrigley opened the ball game with a home run. The first home run hit at nighttime at Wrigley Field. There's the mayor, Mayor Sawyer, and the commissioner of baseball, Mr. Obernoff. The pitch. There's a high fly ball going to be caught. Mitch Webster. 2 men out. And here's Mike Schmidt. He's hit many a home run in the daytime at Wrigley Field. This is the first time he'll bat at night.
Taking a look around the field, it looks very bright in the outfield. The only shadows are in the corners, but there's shadows in the corners under the sunlight too, so nothing different about that.
I think one thing different, though, you can't see you can't identify some of the people in front row seats as you normally could. It is a little darker in the stand. Schmidt takes a strike call. See, the lighting is even, and while there's a little shadow in the corners, the light is very visible. 0-1 the count. 2 out, 1 in. A high pop foul. Might be caught. Mark Grace. Grace takes care of Schmidt's pop foul. 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left. We go in the bottom of the first. The Phillies lead 1-0. Carey back at Wrigley Field. And what a beautiful sight it is. Bill Murray's sitting with us. Bill, you had to really change your personality around in order to play a role like Scrooge, huh?
No, it wasn't that hard, Harry. I just went without breakfast. I just ate very late, and that's all it took. I was cranky until I had breakfast, and I wouldn't eat until late, like 5 or 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah, the ground ball hit for center. Mitch Webster. The first night game comes out of a batting slump with a solid single in the center field. And there's a good beginning. Webster hitting .250 for the year. Starts off with a single to center.
Base hit right up the middle.
Look who's coming on the field. I think this is Morgana. It's Morgana. She wants to kiss Sandberg. The field guards, the management control people, intercept her.
Right by Juan Samuel, and here you have to give that usher a lot of credit. He caught Morgana from behind. He ran her down, and Morgana had a big head start on him.
Well, I can't say much for his imagination at all.
I couldn't see anything, Harry. I lost her in the lights.
All right, Webster's at first. She was aiming for Ryan Sandberg. She got almost to the pitcher's mound when she was intercepted. All right, Webster. Mitch Webster on at first. Here's Ryan Sandberg hitting .254. 3 out of 11 in the series. Kevin Gross on the hill. 1 ball, no strikes.
The Cubs have hit Kevin Gross pretty well over the course of his career. He's 4-7 lifetime against Chicago with a .474 ERA. This year he started 1 game against them. The Cubs hit him pretty well. 6 2/3 innings, 6 earned runs on 8 hits.
That's terrible news.
Ooh, swings a drive. Deep left field, way back. It might be. Ryan Sandberg, the first nighttime home run at Wrigley Field. And the Cubs lead 2-1. Holy cow. $200 presented by True Value Hardware. The Cubs stare. Look at the lights.
Home run number 12 for Rhino. RBIs 45 and 46. He got it up in the wind. The wind is blowing to left field, and the Cubs are on top that quickly. In 1938, it was Joe Marty with the first Cub home run under the lights. Ryan Sandberg, 50 years later, takes him deep.
Getting a standing ovation. His 12th home run of the year. And the Cubs lead 2-1. And I am sure Bill Murray is Rhino coming out to take a bow. I'm sure Bill Murray pulling for that ball to go into the stand is all that blew it over. Who says a hot wind blows nobody some good?
I like these lights. I like them. Eric Craig, the home plate umpire, made him come out of the dugout. That's great.
2-1 in favor of the Cubs. Oh, here now is Grace. Fouls it back. He's 0-2. New York and Pittsburgh, no score at the end of 2. Atlanta leads the Giants 1-0 at the end of 1.
Mark Grace is 5 for 7 this year against Kevin Gross. He's hit him well, and maybe he'll hit his first home run in Wrigley Field this year. The previous 5 have been on the road.
Grace 4 out of 12 in this series. Line goal! What a play by Ricky Jordan. A screamer, a bullet hit it to the right field corner, and Jordan made the leaping cut. 1 out.
So far, nobody around home plate is having problems with the lights. And let's watch the home run again. Ryan Sandberg gets a fastball down. He gets it up in the wind. And the Chicago Tribune round-tripper replay shows the home run went around 380 feet to straightaway left field.
Here now is Andre Dawson. He's had 17 of them this year. 58 RBI. A little bit low. Dawson is hitting .500 against the Phillies in this series. 6 out of 12. 1 out, 2 in. Cubs lead 2-1. Whoa, what a cut. What a cut. And the count is evened up, a ball and a strike.
That was scary.
Don't tell me you're going to smoke a cigar, too.
No, Steve said you like it when he smokes 2 cigars at once, so I thought I'd like one.
I gave him one for your comfort in the ball game, Harry.
There's a ground ball foul outside third base. Let me ask you again how a guy of your charming disposition can ever play a role of Scrooge.
Well, Harry, I don't know. I got a lot of personal problems, you know, a lot of psychological difficulties, and I just dwelt upon them while I was working. It was hard, but I thought of all the troubles that other people have, not for myself. I have anything. And I read a lot of books about other people.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Also to reading the books you've been reading. 1 out, 2 in. Andre Dawson. What a thrilling start. There's a pitch, and he struck him out. Dawson goes down swing. That brings up Rafi Palmeiro. Cubs ahead 2-1. 9 baseballs away to a roaring start at Wrigley Field. Bradley homered for the Phillies in the first. Sandberg with one on, homered for the Cubs in the first.
A couple of trips ago in Philadelphia, Kevin Gross could not make his start. He fell down the stairs at home. So apparently he stuck to the elevators at his hotel here in Chicago, and he's out on the mound.
I noticed he had a little trouble with the incline, though, getting up to the rubber. Harry, does it look like rain out there or what?
Yeah, there's some storm warnings being issued until midnight. There's a fly ball. My drop. Nice play by Milt Thompson to end the inning. 2 runs, 2 hits. Nobody left. At the end of one, the Cubs are out in front 2-1. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Charlie O. Finley here for the first night game in Cub history. Charlie, who used to own the Oakland A's, I guess he had the last dynasty in baseball. They won 3 championships in a row. Lance Parrish, a big guy, having a good series. Breaking ball low. The count evened up a ball in the strike. Do you have any repercussions from the little broadcasting you did a year or so ago?
Yeah, I think that that Cub game was bigger than any movie or show that I was ever in. More people saw it and more people liked it. And they really said, why don't you get out of show business and get into sports broadcasting full time? No, I was one of the most fun things I've ever done.
Well, you guys, we did a wonderful job, Steve and you.
Steve and I had a ball when you weren't here. We drank all your beer. It was fantastic. It was like, oh, Harry won't be here. We can just finish these.
There's a ground ball, easy out. Grace has it, 1 away.
But it was cold. It was really cold, wasn't it?
Here's 2 of the greats of Chicago history. Billy Williams, Hall of Famer, throwing out a first ball. And Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, Hall of Famer, throwing out the second ball. Look at the perspiration through his jacket.
Ernie worked up a sweat getting ready for that first pitch.
I think he did a set with the Temptations in that suit someplace before he came. That's why he got so warm.
One man out. Here's Charlie James. There's Lee Elia, who managed the Cubs a few years ago.
Harry, what was that Lee Elia said about the Cub fans?
Well, he's a little angry at them. Did you ever hear that tape?
Yes, I have that tape, as a matter of fact.
All it is a study of a studied bleeping of everything he said.
Yeah.
He was a little unhappy that afternoon.
There's Don Zimmer.
Well, he's cranky. And when that Latin blood, when a Latin gets cranky, forget about it.
Well, 1 strike and nothing. 1 out, nobody on. Chris James, a hitter. Inside.
I hope he never has anything bad to say about the Philadelphia police force. Things could really go wrong.
You think they're bad?
Huh? Bad? No, they get cranky too, the Philly police.
Did they ever stop you anywhere?
No. Actually, I keep moving through Philadelphia quickly. No, I've never had any trouble there. Well, the Chicago police used to be cranky.
There's a little pop-out. Mark Grace is there. Yeah, but Chicago police are great to their own. If they know you, they're wonderful to you.
Yeah. I think when they first changed their hats and went with that checker cab motif, they got a lot of insults and they were pretty defensive.
1, 2. There's Phil Bradley's home run in case you just joined us. Out onto Waveland Avenue. In a moment, you're going to see Ryan Sandberg with a man on to put the Cubs ahead 2-1. There's Bradley circling the bases. 1 out, nobody on. 2 outs, rather. Jordan up there. There's a line drive base hit. Jordan, who's had a great series, 5 out of 15, lines a single to left center.
Jordan has been a very impressive player in this series. Now take a look at Ryan Sandberg taking the ball out of the ballpark on a low fastball. This put the Cubs on top. For those of you who might have thought this was a day game, this is what happened early.
All right, 2 out, 1 on, and here is Steve Jeltz, the shortstop.
Are you guys going to keep replaying that home run for the people at home that are having nervous breakdowns, seeing this game on at night or something, or what?
That's what Arnie really enjoys, and we accommodate him. We let him play it as often as he wants to. Right, Arnie? Yeah, Arnie said, we made you a star. Now be quiet. What you ought to really do is play the role of a baseball announcer in a movie. They're making so many movies about baseball.
Well, if I could get my hair to look more like yours and borrow those shades of yours for a few minutes, I might try it. I think I might try the restaurant business first, though, Harry. Is it as easy as they say?
Oh, it's easier than that. All you got to do is have good health, have great food, and sign a few autographs. And you make yourself a lot of money.
But don't you have to do a lot of dishes and stuff? Greasy pots and pans at the end of the night?
Hey, that's where, behind the ballpark, they're waiting for a home run out there. A lot of them are waiting for a home run. Well, they got 2 already. And we're only in the 2nd inning. At that rate, they're going to have a chance at 18 home run balls.
I wish the folks at home could have seen your face as you did that math, Harry. That was a beautiful thing to watch.
There it is, a base hit up the middle.
Nice the grass.
By Jeltz, and that will bring up a pretty good hitting pitcher, Kevin Gross, with runners at first and third and 2 out.
Come on, Rick.
Sutcliffe having some difficulty, and Damon Berryhill now going out to talk with him. I don't think Rick is 100% physically, but he decided he was strong enough to go to the mound tonight. He had some back problems early in the year and flared up once again, and there you see the look from our high scoreboard camera. A panoramic view of Wrigley Field on a beautiful night.
Have you talked to the lit piano, Arnie? I wanted Bill Murray to engage the guy in conversation 35,000 feet up in the air. Here is Kevin Gross. Runners first and third. A high pop foul out of play. Well, there's a souvenir. Oh, I saw more people from more places all over the nation today, and they all have good seats. How do these out-of-town people get them?
I don't know, but I think there should be an investigation. I think that acting Mayor Sawyer should do something about this. I mean, Peter Ueberroth, the guy who gave away the home field advantage to the San Diego Padres in 1984, gets front row seats. I'm really confused about this.
Now the pitch. Swung on. A pop fly going to be caught by Dunston. That'll be an easy out. Throws pops to Dunston. 2 hits. No runs, 2 left. We go in the bottom of the 2nd. The Cubs are out in front, 2-1.
That was scary. At least he got out of there.
Harry Carey and Steve Stone with Bill Murray at Wrigley Field as we go in the bottom of the 2nd. Cubs out in front, 2-1. Here's Van Slaw.
Outfield very deep for Law with the wind blowing out. It's going to help the fly ball to left field. Going to hold up the ball to right and right center.
This bud's for you, Bill.
Thanks, sir. Have you got one for me? Oh, bless you. And bless your words.
The pitch. Had a cut.
I'm looking at my seats out there. Laying out there. Bob Uecker seats.
They have storm warnings, but it looks all right here. Get the 5 innings in and relax a little bit. Kevin Gross on the hill. Damon Berryhill on deck. A little outside. One ball, 1 strike.
That's the phone. It's the neighbors complaining about the noise.
There's a high pop fly. Ricky Jordan back. Makes the catch. Dan Rowan is in the left field bleachers, and he has the fella who caught Sandberg's home run.
Well, Phil Bradley hit the first nighttime home run, but Ryan Sandberg hit the first Cub nighttime home run, and Mark Lohendorf caught it. How'd you make the play, Mark?
Just stuck out my hand and it landed there. I had my camera in one hand and the ball landed in the other.
You know, you're very fortunate. If Morgana had gotten a Rhino out there, I'm sure he would have hit it out of the park. Let's go back to Stephen Harris.
Hey, Bill, he looks just like you know?
I think I saw that Dan Roan last night. He dances at Chippendales in New York. I recognize the bow tie and the collar.
One man out. Here's Damon Berryhill. Fastball in there for a strike. Boy, it's a warm night.
It's a beautiful night for it. I wish you guys had some parasols. You know, honestly, the camera, we're all looking pretty bland here. There should be more of a decorative thing. You look good. Dress up. Yeah. You got a fantastic...
One ball, one strike.
Gross has been the best Philly pitcher this year. He leads the team in innings pitched and leads the team in strikeouts. He's got a good sweeping breaking ball that he drops down against right-handers.
There's a drive.
Get going, ball.
Fair ball. Berryhill heading for second base with a double. Hey, the Cubs are hitting the ball better at night than they were doing in the day.
10th double of the year for Damon Berryhill, who's staking his claim on the #1 catching job. This ball's not a strike. Very light in the corner. You can see the ball all over the field.
Yeah.
In fact, much better than the daytime. The ball hits off the foul pole, bounces around for a while, and Damon, who came into this one at 280, still hitting the ball hard.
Well, Arnie explains it's because the lighting is even. Because of the lighting. Whereas, of course, in the daytime, the shadows from the stands affects the visibility in certain places. All right, here's Dunston. That's a hat, believe it or not. How about that? The guy's wearing the light towers as a hat. That's something you must have thought of, Bill.
Well, I think it's nice that he got a hat that was built in accordance with the original design of the ballpark.
He looks a little lightheaded to me.
He's getting there something in the booth, folks.
1 strike to nothing. Sean Dunston. I wonder if they still have tickets to get in here, or whether they're just walking around in the neighborhood.
One of the few times, Harry, there's not plenty of choice seats available.
There's a pitch outside. One thing about it, if they couldn't get in the ballpark, they can get in a million places in the neighborhood. Murphy's, Cub Scare. There's the standing room only crowd.
537 media credentials passed out for this one. Media from all over the country. Twice the amount of the day that Pete Rose was going for Ty Cobb's record. Take a look at that. Media from everywhere.
2 balls and a strike. Sean Dunston. Boy, he's become a great shortstop, Bill. Really remarkable play. Bounces it foul. 2-2. 1 out.
He's got an arm that has a passing gear on it.
That's a left field corner camera, one of the 11 that Arnie Harris has at his disposal tonight. That's a good shot from him back of Mike Schmidt. It gives you the feeling of what a third baseman has to deal with.
Hey, I forgot to tell you, the search is still on for the ultimate Cub fan bun man, so get your entries in. Here are the clues for the questions for the month of August. First, it fills and empties every inning where brothers of the pine gather and the best seats in the house. The pitch to Dunston. There's a high fly ball going to be caught. Thompson has it. And there's 2 away. The clue to the second quiz. He's the king of cheers, numero uno on his team, and a hit with the fan. So get your entry blanks in. Maybe you'll be the winner of the month of August contest and qualify for the grand contest. The grand prize is later. You can pick up entry blanks wherever Budweiser is sold.
Plenty of action outside the ballpark.
It was amazing out there. It was like there was going to be a public execution, the mood outside. It was kind of scary, actually. It had that last plane out of Saigon feeling, public execution. You got the feeling they were going to hang someone inside here. They were really cranked up outside.
Scoreboard looks great tonight, doesn't it? The 2 for the Cubs in the first certainly looks good.
Sutcliffe should have a good shot at Kevin Gross, who has problems with left-hand hitters because he's a 3/4 arm pitcher. He does not come from over the top, and a left-hander gets a good look at the ball all the way. You know Rick's going to be swinging to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Let's see if he can make some contact. They play him fairly deep.
Has Arnie got a replay of that home run he hit in the first playoff game, 84?
Hurry up, Arnie, find it. It's low. There's a wild pitch. And Berryhill has advanced to third with 2 outs. Ball 2 the count on Sutcliffe, who is a good hitter.
Third wild pitch of the year, and this is a wild one. Damon Berryhill has designs on coming home, but Kevin Gross decides he's going to cover home, and Berryhill has to hold up. Watch it again. From right in back of Mike Schmidt. This is how Mike looked at it. Still looks like a wild pitch from that angle.
Well, that's a good camera for that shot, Arnie. You know what you were doing when you got 11 cameras.
Chris James is not playing deep in right field, and Sutcliffe could burn him. He's got enough power to hit it over his head.
2 balls, no strikes. Ooh! He fouled it out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Hey, Bob Jordan, down at my restaurant, I haven't heard the cash registers ring once. Hey, Governor, how are you?
Oh, you look gorgeous.
Have a good time, folks. Holy cow. 2 balls and a strike. Governor Thompson, who was a great, great rabid Cub fan.
He's not rabid, Harry. That's a very unkind thing to say.
Sit here a minute, Governor. Bill doesn't mind. Well, well, well.
I am rabid.
You've had a tough, tough year, haven't you?
Well, no, not really. It was an exciting year. Challenging year.
And it's not over yet.
And it's not over yet.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the pitch. Low inside. Did he go around or not? No, ball 3. Tell me what your honest feeling about now, at long last, the Cubs with lights at Wrigley Field.
I think it looks good. I think the Cubs went out of their way to make the lights blend in with the structure of the ballpark, and I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It looks good from down there. Now, if the parking is taken care of for the neighbors, and if the crowd goes home in an orderly fashion, we got it made.
Well, I can't see why. You know, this is something now that's here, and I think the attitude of the people must be, well, it's here. Let's just relax now and enjoy it.
I think that's going to happen. I think a week from now, you'll think lights had always been here. They won't look funny. We still got the grass, the ivy, the bricks, the greatest ballpark in America, and a great team. Now, what more do you want?
Well, I'll tell you what I like especially. First, the 3-2 pitch. There's a looping foul ball out of play. With 80% of the games still to be played in daytime, the daytime mystique of the Cubs will be retained. With only about 20% to be played at night, it gives the Cub fan who does work in the daytime an opportunity to actually see his team in action.
Well, it gives Cubs fans a choice, and I think that's important. When you're offering entertainment, as the Cubs are, choice is important, and it makes the Cubs something special after all these years. And Chicago is a special baseball town. That's why we fought so hard for the White Sox.
Now the pitch low, and Sutcliffe drew a base on ball. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Governor. You might be much more intelligent. I know you're a better executive, but I don't think you're as funny as Bill Murray.
Thank you.
All right.
You know, we got to get out here, Harry.
What's up?
We got to get the president out here.
Oh, I would love that, you know.
Let's go to work on that.
I had him on in St. Louis when he was plugging his picture down the winning team. And, of course, I talked to him when I returned last year, and oh, that would be a thrill. And if anybody can do it, you can.
Well, I was with him when he was up in Iowa the other day visiting the radio station where he had his first job doing play-by-play. And if you just see the look in his eyes when he remembers the stories from that era, I think he'd like to do it. So we'll try.
Here's a pitch now to Mitch Webster. And the count is evened up, a ball and a strike. Well, what's this? I read a lot of things in the paper. You might be a vice president.
Well, I don't know about that. It's up to George Bush, but I don't think it's likely. I think they'll pick a national political figure to go with the ticket this time.
Who would you guess if not you?
Well, Kemp, maybe. I hear a lot of talk about Dan Quayle, the senator from Indiana, young fella, good man. There's a lot of good candidates in our party, and so I don't think you'll have any trouble.
There's a ground ball to Ricky Jordan. Steps on the bag for the out. So,
if I was vice president, I couldn't come out here when I want to.
No run.
A lot of things you have to give up.
1 hit, no errors, 2 men left. At the end of 2, the Cubs still lead 2-1.
I heard it. I said we would have one for you. Walter Jacobson went crazy.
Harry Carey, Steve Stone, back at the ballpark. Bill Murray is with us. Governor Thompson. I thought I read where you were with the Governors in Cincinnati.
I am with the Governors in Cincinnati, but I snuck home this afternoon to see the first night game, and I'm going back tonight. And the rest of the Governors are jealous.
But they did want to accompany you.
Well, they got to see a Cincinnati-San Diego game the other night in Cincinnati, but I told all those guys, hey, man, nothing compares with Wrigley Field, the Cubs, in the first night game in history.
All right, here's Phil Bradley, who hit a home run his first time at bat. He's had a good series, 5 out of 14. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wind is starting to kick up, and that means that there's a lot of rain around the ballpark. So far, none in evidence here.
Hey, Arnie, call your people upstairs and tell them to redirect the wind. There's a drive in the right field. Kirby, foul ball. And Bradley continues to hit the ball well here. That was fortunately third foul. Look at the people outside the ballpark.
There's more people, Harry, on the roofs than I've ever seen at a day game. That'll tell you something about what some of the neighbors think.
You know, I don't know which house it was, but somebody rented out his roof for $1,000 a night for every one of the night games.
And they're glad to have it.
That's what you call free enterprise.
Well, when I saw the $10 parking signs about a mile away, I knew this was a big game.
There's a ground ball. The Law, he's got it. Easy out. Grant's Law throws out Phil Bradley, 1 away. Hey, Bill. Are you eligible to vote in the state of Illinois?
There are some wards where he is.
Yeah, I have a pass from Richard J. Daley that says I can vote 3 times in any general election, yeah.
Well, we can run you for governor one of these days.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the clothes that Jim Thompson wears, and I think, actually, I'm not afraid to wear these suspenders.
That's right. I got some even better ones.
Oh, good. A shot of Jim's suspenders. What do you think?
Well, tomorrow it's Statue of Liberty. Hey, listen, man, they're coming back. I'm in fashion.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Don't let them kid you. I wear them too.
The Republicans are coming back too, Jim. No problem.
Gosh, I hope so.
One out, nobody on. Milt Thompson, who's 4 out of 10 in the series. The crowd now kind of being alarmed by the streaks of lightning you see now and then.
It was so much fun with him and, what was it, Davenport?
1-1 pitch.
Play-by-play today.
High.
It is dark out there. Yeah.
There's the high scoreboard camera showing that picture. Look how the flags are blowing.
Harry, the wind has shifted. Now it's blowing out to right. Shouldn't be too long before the rains come.
2 balls and the strike. Line drive. Foul ball.
I think you ought to look at this one from this may be a wrath of God kind of thing. It's sort of a visitation of the light.
got Bill Murray loading up our refrigerator here with Budweiser.
Very high-priced delivery man.
2 balls, 2 strikes. A bouncing ball. Lost peg in time. 2 gone. Francois throws out Thompson. Nighttime at Wrigley Field. That's our high scoreboard camera zooming in on the pitcher's mound in a moment. What was your favorite Cub team, Governor? 69?
I think the team that last won the division, yeah.
84.
84.
2 men out. It's hard to believe that as great a sports city as this is, that the Cubs haven't won a pennant since 1945. And 1945 was a war year, too.
That's probably about 3 years after I started going to games. I think my first game was when I was 6 years old, so that would have been 42.
Oh, boy, look at that wind now.
I brought my dad tonight. He and I used to sit out in the bleachers.
There the gusts, the swirls of wind and dirt, blowing the dirt all over. There's a high scoreboard camera. Is the scoreboard wavering, Arnie? It's shaky up there. Who's handling that camera? Bob Albright. Boy, I hope his insurance is well paid.
I hope he's anchored down out there.
It'll cool. He'll calm down in a minute, I hope. 2 out. Again. This is a dust bowl right now. Well into each night, some rain must fall.
Not before the 6th inning.
0-1 the count.
Eric Gregg is trying to clean the dust out of his eyes.
Seeing Ernie Banks and Billy Williams and Jack Brickhouse all down on that field, it had to bring back many pleasant Cub memories to you.
It did. I mean, I go back to guys like Pafko and Cabaretta.
And how about the side of Morgana running on the field? What did that make you think of?
I said send another one.
1 ball, 1 strike. He swings and he misses. The wind is still blowing very briskly out of the northwest, blowing cross field.
Harry, I think they should get a shot of that baseball over in left field before that thing blows onto the field, just so people know what it looks like when it comes into their picture.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought they had there's a line drive right center. Samuel can run. He's going for 2. Watch Andre's throw. Safe. I thought they had all those signs pulled down except the Torco one. Glow Cubs, Big Sky Balloon.
I think that's a freelance sign, Harry.
25th double of the year for Juan Samuel. He outran the arm of Andre Dawson.
Here's Mike Schmidt, who's figured in some great slugfest here in Chicago at Wrigley Field.
High fastball to Samuel. Every time the Cubs have thrown him a fastball, he's hit it very hard. You can't make a mistake with this man.
Here's Schmidt. Good fastball. A strike call. 1 strike to nothing. 2-1 in favor of the Cubs. Ball game in the top of the 3rd. Speaking of Rick Sutcliffe, his father-in-law, his wife Robin's dad, Bob Ross, celebrating a birthday tonight. There's a pitch outside. I don't know whether Bob Ross is here in Chicago or whether he's back in Kansas, the Kansas City area. But at any rate, he's Rick Sutcliffe's lovely wife Robin's dad. So a happy birthday. 1 ball, 1 strike. A ground ball. Dunston ought to throw him out. He does. What an arm. 1 man left on 1 hit. No run. We go into the bottom of the 3rd, 2-1 in favor of the Cubs. Harry back in the ballpark. Here's Ryan Sandberg. Jim Fry entertaining a lot of people tonight. Steve Oker. Bob Rehnquist with his family. Marlene Bendick of Orland Park. Dave Colella, manager of the Omni Ambassadors, joined the game here. Birthday greetings for Ralph Kennedy. And hello to Steve Sordile of Highland Park, Illinois. Lou Fonseca, the great baseball player of yesteryear, watching the game at Scottsdale. Whoa! Hey, cut it out now, pal. That's white. I warned you. Look at the rooftop. 3 balls, no strikes on Sandberg. A happy 1st anniversary to Brian and Lynn Healy from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Friends of Dennis Fitzsimons of Channel 9. Ball 4. Sandberg is on. The Philadelphia bat boy tonight is Ron Ryden, R-Y-D-A-N. He was a successful bidder at the Lupus Foundation of America's auction in June at the Oak Brook Polo Club. So, Ronald Ryden, the Philadelphia bat boy.
Parrish isn't the best thrower around. Let's see if they turn Sandberg loose. Rhino's stolen 16 bases, been caught 5 times. Grace is a good hit and run man.
There's a pitch inside. Hey, our Goodyear Blimp Enterprise from Pompano Beach, Florida. At the control is Captain Richard Daniels of Burbank, California. It's the 62nd consecutive year the Goodyears appeared at special events like this. Grace takes a strike.
Harry, didn't they pull that guy's blimp license a year or 2 ago?
I haven't seen him here tonight, have you?
I think he's only supposed to operate lighter than air, not operate any lighter than air stuff. I think he's just supposed to be on planes.
1 ball, 1 strike. Sandberg on.
He doesn't have the self-control.
The throw over the first.
Ball almost got away. Kevin Gross thinking Sandberg's going. Lee Elia might risk a pitch out here, 1-1.
There goes a runner to flag.
17 for Rhino this year as he makes it in under the bouncing throw from Lance Parrish. Good ball to throw for Parrish, but he can't get a lot on it. Wants it again.
There's another angle on it.
From our first base dugout.
Captain 75 for 1 baseball, wasn't he?
Hey, they're watching the game in Duarte, California.
Oh, Gary, you're just saying that.
At WGN-TV's big party out there at Carrie Young's house. You know those people?
I think they're in the book.
Hey, look at the block. He's tagged out, but it'll be a sacrifice. Sandberg reaching 3rd. Now, that was a good idea. He not only had a chance to beat it out for a hit, but he made sure he got Sandberg at 3rd with only 1 out.
So, Harry, Don Zimmer was very unhappy with the game yesterday and the fact that the Cubs couldn't get the men over from 2nd to 3rd. He did not talk to the club yesterday. He was too mad. Today, there was too much going on to really have a meeting. He says he will have a meeting tomorrow. He didn't like the way the Cubs played the game yesterday, and he wants to let them know about it.
All right, here now is Dawson, a runner at third. He's shooting for his 59th ribby. Pitch is high. Here's a guy, Keith Mahaffey from Cucamonga, California.
Well, that's believable, because that name is too stupid just to make up.
That's one of your favorite towns, isn't it?
Yeah, Cucamonga. That's right on the fault.
The pitch, a little bit inside.
This is your Palm Springs crowds calling in now, right? These are people that owe you money. In exchange for it, you put their name on it.
No, you don't have a lot of money. You just spend a lot of money, that's all. When are you going to call me when you're out that way?
I almost made it out there. I was in Las Vegas playing roulette. And the guy comes up and says, "Excuse me, you know Harry Carey, don't you?" He says, "I'm a friend of his. I see him regularly." I thought, well, he's just making it up. 5 minutes later, he said, "Excuse me, Harry's on the phone." It's illegal to call Las Vegas. You know that. To a gambling house. You can't place bets across state line, Harry.
Well, listen, when you've been a lifelong friend of Bill Sullivan's for as many years as I have been, you do call out there now and then.
Is that his name? He was a nice guy. He didn't mind. I won a little, too. You don't suppose he told the guy not to push the pedal?
No, I'm afraid they're very bottom line conscious. Pittsburgh. Hey, they got our camera inside the scoreboard now. Look at that view. Right through the panels.
You couldn't do that in the daytime.
3 balls and a strike. On Dawson. Cubs leading 2-1. There's a bouncing ball. Sandberg holds third, and Andre is thrown out at first. So he failed that time. 2 men out. And it's up to Palmeiro now to drive it in.
Last 2 times he's had an opportunity with 2 outs. He has driven home the run. Raphael now with 33 RBIs this year. Starting to swing the bat a little more aggressively after a long talk with Joe Altobelli.
All right. Sandberg at third. Palmeiro flied out to center his first time.
I think he should just go with Rafe, don't you? Don't you think he should call himself Rafe?
Rafe?
Yo, Rafe! I mean, it's a lot more, you know, it's got a dangerous edge to it. I like it. Raphael is, you expect him to lie on his back and paint something.
Well, how about Raffy, though? Isn't that...
Raffy?
Yeah.
You mean the Canadian folk singer for children? Harry, your musical tastes leave a little bit to be desired.
1 ball, no strike. Outside, ball.
You know what about the moose and the brushing his teeth and all that stuff?
No, what's that? 2 balls, no strike. Are you up on Canadian music?
Canadian music? Yeah, I know their national anthem has the same line in it 13 times.
It's easier to sing, huh?
Yeah, we stand on guard for thee. And they just keep saying that over and over again.
2 balls and a strike.
Rafey? Yo, Rafe. And I think maybe something like some sort of a tattoo look. Rafe, across there. Maybe just on the knuckles. Rafe, R-A-F-E. Yo, Rafe!
2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, the Raphael thing is, I mean, he's got to have a lot of misspelling when people write him letters.
We'll have to rebaptize him.
Not a bad idea.
There's a line drive, base hit! And the Cubs lead 3-1. Palmeiro lined a single past Samuel. And no matter what you call him, it's a big RBI.
RBI number 34 for Palmeiro. He does go out and get this ball. He's hitting the ball out front now, starting to pull the ball, and he drives it by a diving Samuel.
The 18th game he's hit safely in. The longest this year by a Cub. There's Vance Law, who previously had the longest hitting streak early this year. He went up through 16 games. But now Palmeiro has 18. There he goes. Swung and missed. The throw. He's out trying to steal. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, nobody left. Dwayne's going to join Steve in a moment. And I'm going to kidnap Bill Murray and take him over to the radio booth for a little bit Harry Carey from Wrigley Field. At the end of 3, the Cubs are out in front, 3-1.
With Steve Stone and our producer-director, Artie Harris, Dwayne Stats with you on a festive night at Wrigley Field, moving into the 4th, and the Cubs are out in front 3-1.
They're out in front. Dwayne is celebrating a birthday. What could be better than a birthday under the lights?
Boy, we've
Happy
got
birthday.
it tonight. Well, thank you very much. Here's Lance Parrish taking a strike. Parrish, James, and then Jordan.
And the fact that you invited all these people to your birthday party is just a testament to your generosity.
Just a few intimate friends, that's all. 1 strike the count. A swing and a miss. To the count here on Parrish. Well, Phil Bradley opened the game with a home run. Ryne Sandberg came back with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 1st, and the Cubs scored again in the 3rd. The 0-2 low. A ball, 2 strikes now. Parrish came into the game hitting only .231, but if you compare his numbers, home runs, runs batted in, with other National League catchers, he's been right at the top most of the year. 54 runs batted in. There's a strike call on the outside corner. First strikeout for Rick Sutcliffe. Now we'll go to Bob Jordan over at Harry Carey's restaurant. Bob?
Well, the crowd got pretty quiet at the first part of the 1st inning, but when Ryne Sandberg hit that home run in the bottom of the 1st, they came to life, as they still are right now. And now things are moving along pretty well here, and they're happy and hoping for the best. We're going to throw it back to you, but that's the way it is here now. A real happy crowd.
All right, thank you, Bob. Chris James stepping in. 1 out, base is empty. There's ball 1. Well, it's lively over there, as it is here at Wrigley Field.
And you're not the only one, Dwayne, that's celebrating a birthday today. Happy 81st birthday to Vic Priola. Happy 94th birthday to Russell Tyner.
Now Vic working the ball game tonight. What a great guy he is.
And how about this? Hey, hey.
Speaking of great guys, Jack Brickhouse has just joined us here in the booth. There you are, Jack. How are you?
Wayne, what a dress code you guys have got now, huh?
Things got a little different.
This going to be it from here on?
This is it.
Huh?
This is it for tonight, and then that's it for sure.
2-0 the count on Chris James. 1 out, base is empty. Ricky Jordan's going to be next. Now the delivery. And that's in there for a strike. Jack, you were the master of ceremonies before the game here. How was it down there under the lights?
Oh, it was something you didn't even pay any attention to from the standpoint of heat, fellas, because it was such a thrill. Such an exciting feeling to be part of the history of this evening. I was a little bit blasé about it until about 48 hours ago, and then it began to catch up with me. Boy, I'm really hyped now.
There's a shot out to second, flag down by Sandberg. Great play by Ryan, and the throw to first got him. There's a starring play by Ryne Sandberg.
The play was all position. Sandberg playing him up the middle. He's right in front of this hot smash, does a complete 360, fires to first, and just barely gets James, who's hustling down the line. Watch it again.
How do you like the Hollywood script we've had tonight so far? First man up for the Cubs gets the first Cub hit in nighttime history. Next guy up, of all people, Sandberg, one of the most popular of all, a Hollywood type, and he hits a home run.
Ricky Jordan takes a strike.
To go the distance, win the game, steal home.
You got the script down pat.
He did that already. I don't think he's going to steal home again this year.
Look at the rooftops, Jack.
Isn't that something?
Oh, they're packed.
I have a feeling, too, that those folks better not plan to go to sleep for a little while tonight, because not only is this game exciting, but when Harry starts to sing and everybody sings with him in the 7th inning, that decibel level is going to wake everybody up.
Jack, all the
but
games,
only for tonight.
All the games you did in this park, did you ever think that you'd see lights here?
Yes, I did, Steve. I really did. I prophesied it a long time ago, but I had a little more information perhaps than a lot of other people, because I knew Phil Wrigley's attitude. It wasn't that he was opposed to lights. It wasn't that he said he'd never have lights. He said, I'll try to get along without them as long as I can. But he even bought the light plant once. Another time he said he'd play 12 night games at somebody else built a stadium.
2-1 pitch. Sliced into right toward the line. That's going to be in there for extra bases down into the corner. Jordan rounding second and on his way to third and will make it easily. Ricky Jordan with his first triple. It comes with 2 outs in the fourth.
And very quickly, when I was on the board, Phil even suggested that maybe we ought to put in lights to finish games here late in the season, that sort of thing. So his attitude toward lights has been certainly misunderstood. And I can't understand why, because Wrigley himself was one of the most visionary owners I think baseball has ever known.
He would have certainly appreciated a night like tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I'm positive that if Phil were alive, he would have approved lights now. And it's going to be great if everybody keeps their word, if the Cubs keep their word, and I know they will, if the city keeps their word about such things as traffic and security and so forth and so on, transportation, and the neighbors around here, even the ones who are opposed, suddenly become neighbors again. Let's look at it this way. 20 years from now, you're going to look around here and you're going to see a new generation that won't even know what it was ever like to not have lights at Wrigley Field.
Well, here's Steve Jeltz, runner at third, 2 gone. And the pitch is low, ball 1. And Jack, I think the other thing that's a positive about all this is the fact that a limited number of night games will keep us here at Wrigley Field into the future.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the real purpose of the whole thing.
1 ball, no strikes. There's
Don't
a
forget,
strike.
you're still playing 63 of those games, as Ernie would say, in God's own sunshine.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. I think it's the proper combination. The club will be, I think, a little better off not playing in the sunshine, the summer heat all the time. They're going to get a break here and there. That'll help them.
Yeah.
Everything works out.
Well, look, I'm going down to look in the truck. I want to see if Arnie has a tuxedo on.
Jack, it's always great to see you, and I know it's a special night for you as well as everybody associated with Chicago baseball.
Now let's have a special type of resurgence by the Cubs and get over that 500 mark, Stevie.
Here, here, and hey.
He looks ready. He can suit up.
I think so. All right, Jack.
Well, it's wonderful to be here.
And it's
thank you very much.
Great to see you again. You look super as always.
Wayne.
All right.
I feel kind of tacky. Turn that camera off, will you?
Okay, Jack.
All right. Jack Brickhouse, Hall of Fame broadcaster with us. 2 balls and a strike to count on Steve Jeltz. Fouled out of play, and that's going to even the count. There's the scorekeeper in the scoreboard. Now there's a great shot. One you're not going to see every day, that's for sure. And that's his perspective on the goings-on tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jeltz singled his first time up there. He's not known as a great hitter, but he had a couple hits Saturday and a hit his first time up today. The 2-2. Foul out of play.
Rick Sutcliffe starting to throw the ball pretty well. He's run into some difficulties with Ricky Jordan. Jordan is a very impressive young hitter.
We're starting to hear a little thunder in the background here. We've had rain all around the greater Chicagoland area. 2 balls, 2 strikes so far, none here at the ballpark. There's the lighting in the stands. It looks very good. There's a broken bat foul ball up the right side. Of course, they've made some adjustments from the other night when we had the Cubs Care benefit here in the home run hitting contest and the workout.
Dwayne, there were some dead spots in the outfield during that night workout. The outfield is beautiful and well lit. No problem seeing anything, and no problem seeing Mark Harmon in the booth with us. Mark, you look terrific.
Thank you, Steve. How you been?
Just great. Nice hat you have. How do you like tonight?
Are you kidding? I mean, it's a promo tour to do a movie for Stealing Home, which opens on the 26th, and I couldn't have missed this for anything in the world.
And your buddy stole home earlier this year, Rick Sutcliffe. That must have been a surprise to everybody.
The first one since Jim Hippo Vaughn, you know, and I haven't let him forget it at all.
You remember Hippo Vaughn, don't you?
Yeah, he was a good friend of mine. 1919, went to high school together.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count on Jeltz. 2 outs, a man at third. And he got him. He struck him out. So the Phillies are finished in the 4th inning. Second strikeout for Sutcliffe. No runs, a hit. Stick around, Mark. We want to talk with you. Bottom of the 4th inning coming up with the Cubs out in front 3-1. Back at Wrigley Field, set to move into the bottom of the 4th inning, but the rain has interrupted play. So this ball game will be delayed as the ground crew puts the tarp on the infield with the Cubs out in front 3-1. Mark Harmon had just joined us in the booth. Mark, you've got the new movie coming out. It's due when?
26th of December, Dwayne, called Stealing Home. Entertaining family tragedy with jokes, and I hope people go out and enjoy it.
And as it turns out, you play a minor league baseball player in the Phillies organization.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right. He's a guy who's played a little minor league ball. It's not a baseball movie. It's a movie about people and a family and memories and going back and facing those memories. But I'm proud of it, and I hope people go to see it.
Speaking of family and baseball, this night, I mean, I can't imagine an opening night in any business being what this night is.
I mean, it's nice that a publicity trip works into a schedule like this, but I tell you, I mean, to be in this capacity crowd, to have been over at Murphy's before the game, I mean, to experience the arena, which is Chicago baseball, and to sit here in Wrigley Field and watch this game, what an experience.
Yeah, it's truly unique. There's no question about that.
Mark, why is it that baseball players and professional athletes of all sports seem to relate so very well with actors? Do you think it's the performing end of both professions, because they both are performers?
You know, Steve, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I know for me the transition from athlete to actor, I found as an athlete that I never played the game that was a perfect game. I always thought I could do better. As an actor, I'm excited by the opportunity to wake up in the morning and go out and try to do better every day and get better. And I've done a lot of things. I've sold shoes, sold flowers, you know, sold shower heads, I mean, sold advertising time. And it wasn't the same there. You know, as an actor, I have an opportunity to really take some chances and to learn some things and hopefully be different 2 years from now than I am right now, and I look forward to that.
How difficult was it for you at first when you did leave the playing field and you went in front of the camera, where in a movie especially you have a chance to make a mistake, you can do it again. On the field you make a mistake and it's history.
Well, it's nice when you get a chance and they say, okay, that's a print, but we'd like to try it again. You get the opportunity to do it again. It's a big advantage. But I tell you something, you learn something as an athlete. As you know, you get a chance to do it once, the pressure's on. Pressure doesn't mean much to you because you just got to do it. That's what you're paid to do. That's what you're supposed to do. So I recall that kind of opportunity a lot, and I look back on those experiences, and to say that I don't use them is a joke, because I do use them all the time.
Mark, we hear so much about concentration, not only in baseball, but in our business, in your business. How is the concentration in relating to maybe a scene and the camera in the movies different than the concentration that an athlete has to come up with?
You know, Dwayne, I come out of television, you know, so to some degree, sometimes television gets a bad rap, and people say, hey, you know, I don't want to do television. I don't feel that way. I learned a lot there. I learned how to do it when you got no time to do it and the pressure's on, and you just got to do it. There's no excuses, no time for anything other than getting it done the best you can do it. Before that, I learned that as an athlete. You know, it doesn't much matter whether the center was short and bringing the ball up to you. It matters that you fumbled, and that was an important lesson for me to learn when I was 17 years old.
Here we are at Wrigley Field tonight in the bottom of the 4th inning, where rain delayed. Cubs are out in front of the Phillies. It's a 3-1 ball game. Phillies open with a run in the first. Phil Bradley homered. The Cubs back with 2 in the bottom of the first on the Ryan Sandberg home run. Another run in the third. And it's really coming down now.
I don't know. You think it's going to rain? Let me ask you a question.
We beat the odds for a while. It was raining all over the area except for here.
I want to ask you a question about Rick Sutcliffe, because I know you're very good friends with him, and he's had an interesting career. He came up with such high hopes for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then he turned around and he got traded here to the Cubs. He won the Cy Young Award and had a great second half of the season after becoming a Cub. Then he became injured, and he had a couple of very tough years. During that time, when you talked with him, did he ever get down on himself to the point where he ever thought of doing something else, or was it in the back of his mind to say, I know I got enough left to come back?
You know, Steve, I don't believe Rick is the kind of guy who gets down on himself. You know, I believe he's the kind of quality guy that the public sees out there. You know, the guy who's spending all the hours donating to charity, the guy who with a sore back goes out there tonight because he believes there's a responsibility to the fans. I mean, I know Rick loves playing in Chicago. The best thing that ever happened to him was that transition from the Dodgers to Cleveland, from Cleveland to the Cubs. And I believe he feels he has a home here. I know he likes it very much. I know that Robin likes it very much, his wife. And yet I know that under all that, Rick Sutcliffe is probably the greatest competitor that I've ever met. And on top of that, a nice guy, which is hard to do.
When you left the field, you had that competitive spirit that every top-line athlete has to have to be successful. Do you feel the same way now? I mean, is there a competitiveness about the business you're in now that keeps you performing regardless of what you're doing?
Well, you know, Steve, I like the competition. You know, I grew up liking the competition, and as an athlete, you learn that that's part of it, and you learn how to enjoy it and have fun doing it. I haven't met a lot of actors who like it, you know, and that's okay with me. I don't care how I go about getting a part if it's the right part for me to do, and if that means 6 other people have turned it down, it doesn't bother me a bit. I mean, the ego is not involved. It's got to do with the competitive edge. It's got to do with, you know, getting opportunities at bat when normally you wouldn't have those opportunities. And, you know, as an athlete, my life was a long shot. As an actor, it has been too, and yet that's changing. And so, you know, I'm plenty tough underneath, and that comes from being an athlete. But aside from all that, I've been pretty lucky, and I haven't for a minute thought that luck is anything but earned.
You know, the uncertainties, and that's a very interesting point, Mark, because there's no question uncertainties in athletics. You don't know, even when you sign a pro contract, if you're going to make it to the major leagues. You don't know when you sign a letter of intent with a major college that you're going to be the guy out there playing every Saturday. The same thing in acting. How do you deal with the uncertainties? You're up for a role here. You're wishing and hoping.
Well, I'll tell you something. As an athlete, I learned very quickly that it's all about the opportunity. I mean, I was at UCLA at a time when what I could do best was best looked for. And I mean, heck, I met quarterbacks recently at UCLA that are 6 feet 5 inches tall. I'd be sitting on the bench or delivering water now if I was there. And that's the reality of it. As an actor, you know, I had to learn how to wait. And that was not something I was learning to do at all as an athlete. An athlete, you throw the ball through the tire more times than the next guy, you were better than the next guy. That's how it worked. As an actor, you got to learn that waiting is part of it, that there are less actors at 25 than there were at 20, less at 30 than there were at 25, and you got to wait for that opportunity of somebody to ask you, and then you got to be ready to do it when you get the opportunity. Flashing back, that's something I learned as an athlete, so it kind of all connects.
I thought Rick Sutcliffe, getting back to Rick for a moment, said something here the other day. You mentioned Rick and Robin, how they love it here. We've heard all kinds of trade rumors. The Yankees, of course, would apparently need pitching at this point. And Rick's name always comes up. And he said that the club has been so good that, by the way, there's the jacket that Rick Sutcliffe received. You can see it in the shot in the dugout. There you are.
That's it.
But he said the city of Chicago and the club had been so good to him that if there was a deal pending that would help this club, he would agree to it, even though he would prefer to stay here and finish his career here.
Well, you know, look, what I know about Rick Sutcliffe, and this goes back to Albuquerque with the Dodger organization, he's a man of his word. He doesn't say what people want him to say. He pretty much says it like it is, and if he says that, then I believe that. You know, I respect him far more as a person than I do as a ball player, and I respect him as a ball player. That says something about, you know, what I think of him.
All right, Mark, we appreciate the visit. Good to see you again. The movie comes out when?
Stealing Home. It's in the theaters on August 26th. I hope you both are there.
We'll be there.
You bet.
We will indeed.
I'll buy the popcorn.
All right. Good to see you. We're rain delayed here. Good to see you. We're rain delayed here at Wrigley Field. Ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning with the Cubs leading 3-1. Let's go to Bob Jordan at Harry Carey's restaurant.
Boy, thank you very much, Steve. You can hear we're getting a warm reception from a lot of very happy Cub fans. I'm sorry to say that you guys are wet there, but we're nice and cool and dry here. We're going to talk with some of the Cub fans who've been enjoying the festivities so far. Howard, what are you thinking?
Well, Bob, you know, I tried to get tickets to the Cubs game. I wasn't able to get one. I think the best place to be now is at Harry Caray's. This is the place to be. I'm a Cub fan and a Bud man.
That's the way most of the people are here. One of the ladies that we were able to bring over to talk with us is Sheila, is that right?
Sheila Heelan, yes.
Let's take a look at her T-shirt, and she's been proud to wear. They were auctioning off some of these tonight for Cubs Care. They had some autographed T-shirts by Andre Dawson and others, sweatshirts, and all of the proceeds from these activities have been going to Cubs Care, a very worthy cause. What are you thinking tonight? Has it been fun?
It's been a lot of fun. We had a really good turnout here tonight, and we're all happy with it, and we hope everyone else is having a good time.
Well, earlier this evening, the crowd hadn't started coming in yet, so now it's really getting crowded.
Yeah, it's about the last hour. It's been coming in real steady, and we've been having a lot of fun.
Okay.
Happy you guys and having fun.
All right, let's hear it and talk to some more people. Let's get you in here, pal. All right. Your name?
Jim Craven.
All right, Jim, were you disappointed in not being able to get tickets?
No, I'd rather be at Harry's. The food's really good and the crowd's excellent.
Well, right now, the people out at Wrigley Field don't seem to be seeing any baseball, yet we're still having fun here.
That's right. They paid $500. We paid a little less, but this goes to a good cause.
Okay, thanks very much. Let's get more folks in, Jim. Your name, sir?
Alan Harris.
How you feeling tonight?
I feel great. I lived in Chicago for 14 years. I moved to LA. I just moved back here 6 months ago, and it's great to be back in Chicago and watching the Cubs do it.
All right, well, let's hope so. They seem to be leading now, and things are going. We're going to talk to a couple more people. I don't know how much time we have here.
Why he's not at the game?
How's that?
Why isn't he at the game?
Well, why aren't you at the game?
Couldn't get tickets. He gave his tickets to the Little Leaguers.
That's good.
Little leaguer that's in first year out, Bob. Couldn't catch a ball for anything. Caught his first ball, gave him the tickets back in April. Now he's out at the game.
What a guy. Well, holy cow, Harry was worried about his cash register ringing here tonight. As I mentioned earlier, during the first inning when the Phillies pulled ahead, it did get kind of quiet, and we didn't hear very many dings. But after Ryan Sandberg pulled the Cubs ahead, so far to stay, it seems as though it's good times here now, and everyone's having a nice time. I just wanted to mention also that we've been getting some long-distance calls from Cub fans around the country who've been calling in here to let us know that they're watching us. We had a group from the Howard Bowl in Atlantic, Iowa, about 150 people there. And also the ex-Sportsman's Cable Bar in La Crosse, Wisconsin are also watching. So people all around the country are picking us up on cable. The festivities seem to really be in full swing right now. This guy loves his mom. Did your mom hear that, you think?
Holy cow.
I want to tell my mother I love her. I want to tell my wife I love her.
Okay, this guy loves everybody. That's the way most of the people are here tonight. So we're going to...
Well, Steve Stone, this is Dwayne Stats at Wrigley Field. Geraldo Rivera has joined us. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Hello there. Boy, they just keep coming.
I hope it doesn't stay in the bottom of the fourth.
Boy, you and me both.
I know you have your own show, but what do you think about the format of two guys in tuxedos just bringing people in a booth that's made for broadcasting baseball? You think that would play in the Midwest?
Well, this is such an event. I really think so. I mean, the stadium has been packed. Even in the rain, there's a huge party going on down under the bleachers. People are, obviously disappointed, but I don't think anyone has left. It's just all crowded into the bar.
I'm disappointed you don't have your tux on. I heard earlier this afternoon you were all decked out. At least Steve and I wouldn't stand out like we do.
Oh, look what's going on.
That's Jody Davis, Al Nipper, Greg Maddox, all the Cubs now going out on... all the Cubs going out in the middle of the tarp.
Oh, look at trying to get that. Does this mean the game has been called?
No, it doesn't. They're going to wait some time. Diving exhibition by the Cubs.
This must be the California contingent of the Cubs. I give them a 9-2, 9-3, 9-4. Let us style, let us roll. That's great. What happens to chewing tobacco with all that rainwater? A double.
Whatever happened to the synchronized swim team? I used to like that. That's a great event. You see these people bobbing up and down. It's a wonderful sport.
They were great. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they're great.
I guess you can't beat fun at the old ballpark, and you see 4 Cubs right there who know how to do it.
Now, if we had Morgana, the kissing bandit.
She didn't make it. She didn't get a good enough start. That usher ran her down from behind.
A little slow out of the blocks.
So to speak. Oh, good. That was actually quite exciting. That's the most excitement I've had in the last half hour.
Well, what's going on with your show? I know you have to be ecstatic with the success of it, and what lies ahead for you?
I don't know, just more of the same. We open our second season on Labor Day. Looking forward to it, of course. You know, a year ago we were the long shot, and now we've established ourselves doing all right. There's another one. Oh, here he goes. Oh, it's my producer. Oh, can they get him? Oh, yes, a diving tackle, ladies and gentlemen.
How about the special
Between
shows?
the pitcher's mound and second base.
How about the special shows that you do? What's coming up next?
On October 7th, I'm doing one that I think people will be interested in. It's about devil worship. I call it Live from the Satanic Underground. It's about, for instance, I met a lady, and this is not a joke, who says she gave birth to 3 babies just so that the infants could be sacrificed in satanic rituals. And she's one of the guests that night. This satanic thing, the thing that got me hip to it was the interview I had with Charles Manson in San Quentin Penitentiary. He said that he was, the #1 devil worshiper, and that this network existed, and I didn't believe him, frankly. The more I talk with law enforcement people, the more I talk with people who've investigated these, the whole satanic cult movement, the more I'm convinced that it's legit, that it involves thousands of people, and that it's really a dangerous phenomenon. So that's what I'll be investigating, October 7th.
Well, I saw the Charles Manson, the Live from Death Row show. It was a chilling show. When you start out to do a show like this, how do you get these people? You put up posters, devil worshippers, call Geraldo? What happened?
The biggest question people ask me is how I get these people to go on camera. And there's no set answer, Steve. There really isn't. I think that when it comes to someone like a Manson, for example, he's such a megalomaniac. He's such an egotist that despite the fact that he's responsible for the murders, the brutal murders of 9 people, he wants to be on television. He wants people to see him and to give him, if not fame, then at least infamy. And I found him a fascinating and also repulsive person. But it was an interesting experience for me, professionally speaking, no doubt about that.
You've had some pretty bizarre subjects that you've interviewed one-on-one with, and obviously some pretty fantastic stories. How do you determine? Do you get a feeling, an inner feel that they're being truthful with you, or when they're not? How do you decide when they're telling you the truth and when they're fabricating a story?
My father graduated from high school, and that's as far as it went, and he was the only one of his family to graduate from high school. But he had great common sense. And he said, no matter what happens to you, Geraldo, don't lose that. Don't lose common sense. And having common sense is like having a built-in lie detector. You know when people are giving you a line of bull. I can look in their eyes, and it doesn't matter if it's Charles Manson or Henry Kissinger. You can see whether or not they're telling you the truth. I don't mean to sound personally arrogant about it, but you really develop a sense over time. I really believe, people ask me all the time, is Manson nuts or was he putting you on? Is it an act or does he really believe those things? I believe that he believes those things. I believe that that's the true evil of the man. It isn't that he can come on television and put you on or put on a show. It's that deeply held inside his evil soul, he believes that he should kill 30 million, 40 million, 50 million people to create a new age. That's the sickness, and it's also the danger of somebody like that.
Let me ask you a question about the reviewers who review your work. Obviously you've taken a lot of criticism for the various things you do, yet the feeling that you have is the knowledge of what's going to sell, what people want to see. The ratings speak for themselves. You've done an outstanding job of drawing viewers away from a lot of other people who do shows that are critically acclaimed, and yet people say, okay, well, Geraldo, he's this, but they watch what you do. How do you know what's going to sell, what's not going to sell when you start out with a project?
First of all, let me say that I'll take the viewing public over the critics any day. I don't want to be Bill Moyers on public television, the critic's darling that nobody watches. I mean, he's a very deservedly respected professional, and God bless him. I'll take the people over the critics, though, any day of the week. And it's no special skill. That's the thing that I have to keep emphasizing. It's just not losing touch. It's not becoming an elitist, not becoming an effete professional who knows more than the viewing audience. as long as I stay normal, I think that I have pretty predictable, regular tastes, just like my audience.
But when you say it's not a special skill, now I watched Al Capone's ball. We weren't dealing with a real dramatic situation here. Yet you kept it alive for 2 hours, Geraldo. I mean, you made this thing interesting when it was like, here, let's look at this watch for 2 hours, see if it explodes or not.
Is that like our broadcast right now?
It's that intuitive feeling that you have.
I tell you this, the proudest moment of my life is when they told me the only program in Chicago television history that outdrew that one was when the Bears won the Super Bowl. I mean, that's saying something.
Well, that's the bottom line. Regardless of what the critics have said, the share and the ratings have always been excellent for you.
It's funny. What was that bar we were at, Murphy's, across the way? We were at Murphy's bar before the game started. And the betting at the bar was whether or not this game would surpass Capone's balls as the second highest in Chicago history. Tomorrow will tell.
What do you want to do with your future as far as this business is concerned?
You know, what I want to do is be and continue to be just a spokesman for the regular person, the common man and woman. As long as people see me that way and I see myself that way, nobody can hurt me. They can say anything they want to about me. They can write anything they want to. They can put it on the front page that I'm a jerk. But as long as people believe that I'm a sincere person, as long as people are in my corner and watch my shows, that's what I want. I want to be a voice for the regular person. No baloney. I don't speak from Mount Olympus. I don't lecture down to people. I see people eye to eye. This is me and they're them. That's all I want for my life. I want people to say when I'm gone that, you know something, on this story or that story, he made a difference. That's all I want.
But you were in Chicago not only for this game, something else going on?
It's funny.
Strange you should ask.
Do you know Dennis Fitzsimons, our mutual boss who runs Channel 9? I told him I wanted 4 seats to this game. I told him months ago. He said, I can't get them. I said, Dennis, you can get me 4 seats. He said, okay, but we have the 40th anniversary of Channel 9, a special 2-hour program. Will you host it?
Make a deal for you.
I said, will you pay me? He said, I'll give you 4 seats. I said, it's a deal.
That's great.
Oh, man.
It looks like the rain is still coming down pretty hard, and I'm afraid that it's going to be some time yet.
But I tell you, if I was Zimmer, I'd keep it going until 2 in the morning because it has to go 5.5 or 5 innings. They're up 3-1. Let you guys vamp. Make it an official game. Get the victory. You guys need. I said, you know, people ask me what was the significance of the game. I said, maybe this will be like when the Red Sox got a new manager, Joe Morgan. They won 20 out of 25 after they were in the pits the whole year. Maybe this night, I said, would be the impetus to get the Cubs going. I don't know how this rain's going to affect things, but we'll see.
They'll have a lot of time to get it going because it doesn't look like it's going to stop.
And the way it started, it appeared that this is something that might get the Cubs going when Sandberg hit the home run. We talked about it, well, it must have been a couple hours ago by now, how they moved the runner over and the little things that they were not doing as late as yesterday afternoon, they were doing in this ball game tonight. So if and when we finish this one, and every effort obviously will be made to finish it because this is a big night. No chance to play the Phillies tomorrow. The Mets are in town for another night game. So this rain delay now, about an hour and 20 minutes long, with the Cubs leading in the bottom of the 4th. It's a 3-1 game. We'll take a break and return in a moment.
Here, they haven't given up yet, and as a matter of fact, some of the fans from Wrigley Field have even shown up here, all wet. And we got a couple right here. You guys are pretty soggy. You were out at the park. What was the atmosphere like out there?
The atmosphere was great. It was like a World Series game. We were all out there. The Cubs were trying to do their best, and they did their best. It's raining, and they're going to come back and win the game.
All right,
that's how it's going to do.
All right, very good. Okay, we've got some other fans that we haven't had a chance to talk with. Some of the ladies here. What's it been like here knowing that you've had a chance to watch history in the making?
Well, I've been working here and it's been phenomenal. The people are pretty up for all this. A little crazy. They've been here waiting for something to happen and it hasn't happened. And as you know, we've been trying to keep them Happy. I think we've done that.
It's been a great crowd. The food's been good, and we have a lot of happy people here. And we have some other folks here. This lady here said she had a special request for someone who had tickets but wasn't able to make it.
That's right. That's a hello to Chris Keogh. He was supposed to be here tonight.
Turn that audio down. Go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Chris Keogh was supposed to be here tonight. He was paralyzed recently from the neck to the waist. And I really miss him tonight. So this is for you, Chris.
Okay, so he's one of the diehard Cub fans who's somewhere watching it on television.
He sure is.
And speaking of television, we have had fans call in. We had some guys from a ship somewhere in the Philippines who are, I guess, pulling us off the satellite call in and say that they are watching us out there. We've gotten calls from Germany, as I mentioned, the Philippines, just about all over the world. It's phenomenal, the amount of people who have been watching this game tonight, who have in turn called Harry Carey to let us know that they're watching us and that they are eagerly awaiting this outcome of the first night's game. What about you, pal? You happy to be here?
Oh, you bet I am. I just want to say hello to my son Patrick, TJ, Brian, and my daughter Katie in Downers Grove, Illinois, and God bless the Cubs.
All right, what about you?
God bless the Cubs.
There you go, got a signal there.
And you, ma'am?
Hi, Andy. I hope you're watching. You missed a great night.
Okay, so that's about it. We're going to throw it back to the stadium. We are still hoping that we can get the rest of the game in. All the people here are having a ball, and we're going to give it back to you, and we'll all be here waiting.
All right, thank you. It has been called. After a 2-hour and 10-minute rain delay, this game has been called. We'll be back with a few final words in a moment.
With Steve Stone, Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field, would you know it? The first night game is not the first night game. Tomorrow now is scheduled to be the first night game. This game has been called off because after about 2.5 hours, it's still raining.
Where you been all this time?
I've been over on the radio side.
This was quite an evening, and obviously we got in all the pregame ceremonies and had all the hoopla that you'd associate with an event like this. And Harry, I guess we have to feel privileged at this point that we did get in about an hour and a half and had everything happen on the field that really had to happen. Even though we quite obviously cannot finish this, it's still raining as hard as it ever was.
Well, we can tell. I can tell my grandchildren. Someday you can tell your grandchildren how you broadcast the first night game ever played at Wrigley Field.
That was never
but
played.
It only lasted 3.5 innings, which did not make it an official ball game. Tomorrow we're going to be preempted, and the networks will take over. So we're going to have another crack Wednesday afternoon when the Cubs are playing the Mets.
Well, I look forward to that one, Harry, and I know you're going to be on the radio tomorrow night. You should look forward to that one. It's going to be another festive occasion here in Wrigley Field, another beautiful night, and you'll get a chance to do it all over again.
I didn't realize there were so many great divers and swimmers in the Chicago area. Look at that. Al Nipper, Greg Maddox, Jody Davis. There's Nipper. Now watch this. How would you rank him? 9.7?
Well, he got not much hang time, but he gets a lot of length. Look at this. The pairs competition turned out very well between Lancaster and Maddox.
So a lot of fun at that. And what do you think? What's the message from this night? Beautiful weather yesterday, beautiful weather today, until we started to go into the bottom of the fourth, and the rains came suddenly, and they still haven't stopped.
Well, what I think, Harry, is that it's very disappointing for all of us associated with the ball club, and I know for all the fans, and there's still a lot of them in the stands, even though the game has been canceled. They must have got a very bad weather report, the fact that we can't continue any longer, the fact that this rain is just absolutely not going to let up. And I know I'm disappointed that we didn't get a chance to play this one to completion. Rick Sutcliffe, who went out there, despite the fact that his back was bothering him, he was leading 3-1. He had a good chance to win this one. He needed another inning to pitch. The Cubs would have had to come up only one more time, and he would have then been the winner in this ball game. So you have to feel disappointed, but as you've always said, in baseball, there's always tomorrow, and they're going to be right back at it again, even though the Phillies will leave town and the New York Mets will provide the opposition.
Ryne Sandberg picked a good night to be at the top of his game. He had a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first, and then he scored the 3rd run. And the Cubs were out in front 3-1 when the rains came. Well, that's it. With Steve Stone, this is Harry Carey. from Wrigley Field. We're sorry we could not bring you a complete first night game from Wrigley Field. That will have to wait for tomorrow night when the network will be carrying it. So long, everybody.
Historic Wrigley Field once again for Wrigley Nights, Wrigley Lights, or as we like to call it, night game.